My concern is that you can't shut up for a little while. It doesn't really work that way. And look at the anti-war movement. Where is it? I mean, there are really important exceptions, like Iraq Veterans Against the War, or just decidedly independent, have such a clear position about immediate withdrawal. But then if you look at an organization like MoveOn, this is an organization that built its huge membership. It wasn't born out of the Iraq War, but it built its huge membership out of the opposition to the Iraq War, and really was a huge part of the anti-war movement. And now it is a huge part of the Obama machine. And they are telling people to vote Obama, and they're sending people Obama bumper stickers. Well, Obama doesn't have a plan to end the war in Iraq, and MoveOn should be telling their members that. And instead you have this conflation, because if MoveOn is saying vote Obama, and MoveOn is the voice of the anti-war movement, or one of the key voices of the anti-war movement, then it creates a great deal of confusion. So I don't really blame Obama. Obama is actually quite clear. He does not have an anti-war position, not in Afghanistan, not in Iraq. He wants to keep the green zone intact, which is what I was talking about at the Media Reform Conference. So I actually don't think this is about Obama bashing. It's really about the intellectual integrity and the political integrity of progressives in our organizations, because if Obama is elected, then that is the most crucial point to apply pressure to this administration. So how do you actually segue from being a cheerleader to being a grassroots pressure? It's a very hard trick.
And that's what those who are Obama advocates in the progressive movement are saying. You build the independent movement later, you don't do anything to jeopardize the candidacy now.
And the trick is that so much is lost in the early days. And I think my feeling is actually that it's less about bashing Obama now. I think it's important to tell the truth, obviously. But I think there needs to be a post-election strategy that understands that it has to kick in immediately after the vote, and that it can't be building from scratch immediately after the vote. And what people need to remember is what happened after Clinton was elected in '92. That everything was lost in the transition period, but in the period after Clinton was elected and before he was inaugurated, there were key meetings. He was under intense pressure from people like Bob Rubin. And this has all become public now, that there were meetings in this period. Clinton, like Obama, had run on an economic populist platform saying he was going to reopen NAFTA, which had already been negotiated but hadn't been implemented yet, that he was going to get environmental and labor standards, all the things we're hearing from Obama. And there was a full court press from Wall Street as soon as he was elected, and they said, look, we've got an economic crisis. You can't do anything drastic. You actually need to impose austerity. You need to go in the opposite direction. You need to cut social programs. And Clinton was converted in this period. So the corporate funders of these campaigns know that they're going to be applying pressure. They're applying pressure now, and they're going to be applying pressure in that transition period. And there has to be